right, get ready. Buckle up. It is Riell Truth. I am Howard Riell. Item from DW.com. Thousands of Pakistanis on Wednesday protested far-right Dutch politician Geert Wilders' plans to hold a Prophet Muhammad cartoon competition. Some 10,000 protesters participated in the march, chanting, quote, "We will die to protect the honor of the Prophet," unquote, and holding a large banner that said they were holding, quote, "a peaceful protest." The demonstration was organized by Islamist groups that made surprising advances in the July elections and came one day after Dutch police arrested a 26-year-old man suspected of threatening to attack Wilders over the contest, unquote. I was talking about this item with a buddy of mine a little while ago, and he said, "Why, isn't that stupid to have a cartoon contest? What good does it do?" I thought it was a real good question, and I'll answer it right now. Drawing a picture of somebody is about as harmless a thing as you can do. What's not harmless is accepting hundreds of thousands, millions of Muslims from the third world into Western countries. The two go together. By doing something completely harmless, drawing a picture of the Prophet, we show the West, which is still eager to have these people come here, we show the West exactly who and what Muslims are. In fact, better than that, Muslims themselves will show the West who and what they are, because you can be certain that despite a banner that says peaceful protest, the Muslims will be anything but peaceful. Over mere cartoons, they will rampage, they will destroy, they will beat people up, maybe they'll even kill people and set fire to things, and that is what the Western world needs to see. Real, we've seen it already for years. Well, yeah, we have. And the message still hasn't gotten into the heads of people in Europe and even the United States of America. Muslims do not assimilate. They come here, once they grow to a certain percentage of the population, they become ornery, they become dangerous. They want to take over, they want to replace. And that's why things like cartoon competitions are important, to show those who still are not clued in exactly what the danger is and who the danger is and what it represents and what it means for us. I tip my hat to Geert Wilders, who has been a non-stop hero in getting the truth out about the threat that Islam poses to the West and to the entire world. And even if something as cheesy as a cartoon competition, if that helps get the message out, it could potentially save lives. It could potentially save all of Western civilization. I know that sounds like a grandiose statement. It's also an accurate one. We need to stop bringing Muslims into the West. And until we do that, the danger only grows exponentially. It's Thursday, and it's Riell Truth. I'll be right back.
Are you driving the vehicle with damage from summer storms? Tired of waiting months to get your vehicle repaired? Didn't specialize with this paintless damage hail repair. And unlike traditional auto shops, this vision gets your vehicle back to you in days, not weeks. Insurance approved top quality repairs with lifetime warranty. Call today for your immediate appointment. 970-541-0679, 7970-541-0679, or look us up at deadvision.com.
Grandpa's Pawn and Gun, serving Longmont in the Front Range of Colorado since 1994. Specialized in guns and currently have over 400 guns for sale. We also buy, sell, pawn, and trade for gold, silver, musical instruments, knives, archery equipment, quads, side-by-side, coins, and a lot more. We buy gun collections and do appraisals, which is smart for insurance purposes should a claim arise. We are, according to ATF, Colorado's second highest volume gun dealer, and because we have a lot lower overhead than the big box stores, we can beat the big box stores by as much as $100 per gun. And we have the lowest interest rates in northern Colorado, half of what the corporate stores charge when you're doing a loan. Come and see us at Grandpa's Pawn and Gun. If you love guns, if you love gold, come and see us. Check us out on the web, www.grandpaspawn.com or 303-772-7952. Grandpa?
All right, guys, a word to the wise of programming note, of course, will be off on Monday, which is Labor Day. And so after the show, you're going to have to wait until Tuesday. If you can't live that long without me, do the next best thing. Get my book, either electronically or via Amazon or Barnes & Noble or virtualbookworm.com. Riell Truth, Stay Angry, 500-plus pages of conspiratorial delight. And it'll tell you what is really going on in this country. Let's start with Sean Hannity and Newt Gingrich from yesterday on the radio. Go.
The former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, he actually did this for before. It's called the contract with America for Republicans to power for the first time in 40 years. It's very compelling because he's living a life of luxury as rightfully ambassador for
My friends, free health care for California, or any place for that matter, is no different than finding a drowning man and tossing him an anchor. California is already a basket case. It is so bankrupt, it'll never be able to get unbankrupt, and they want to add $30 billion a year in costs. And it's insanity. It amounts to suicide. Now, if someone attempts to commit suicide, he's put under lock and key, he's analyzed, and he's incarcerated and tied down, what have you. Well, this guy Newsom wants an entire state to commit suicide. Why hasn't he been locked down yet? We'll be back. More Real Truth.
And we have all the feet at great corporations. For the law given to Moses, but great.
Good analogy, huh? I think so too.
Jesus Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. John chapter 1, verse 16.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessing of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. The drug problem is well done. We know our kids will be able to. We want to applaud the executive of that strength. They provide examples to the European families to be the blocker plan will take the 366 serving our area. 1943 specializing in naturalized PhD and the process. Total concrete on my listeners. The men and women of our serving. Okay. Their commitment encouraged people to be safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. The victims who pray today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on the type of our future. More information for 970-535-4780.
All right, guys, we started talking about Muslims and cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad today at the start of the show, right? You were here at the start of the show. Good for you. I'm going to go one better. In fact, I'm going to go a lot better. I'm going to give you 14 centuries worth of Muslim history in 15 minutes. Here is former Real Truth guest Brigitte Gabriel, former Muslim. My friends, this is an excellent history lesson. I'm going to post this on my Facebook page, Riell Truth Radio. You need to watch it, share it, talk about it, get as many people as possible up to speed on this. By the way, it was Yitzhak Rabin who signed that deal with Arafat, and Yitzhak Rabin who was murdered.
Gentlemen, Mr. Thompson, founder of the Greener. How many times have you gone into a health food store and confused as to the many different brands and prices on the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest because you're afraid that quality is less, so you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green herb herbal supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant, 4565 Tiffany Street, using the highest quality herb that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back, no time limit. Just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name and get the help. Or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
Do not believe every spirit, but test the spirit, which is in your God, because many false prophets have gone to the Lord. But I cannot know the spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua has come from the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming, and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
We hope these truths to be self-evident. Not all men are created equal, but they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, government are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the government. This is the American Student Network.
Chaplain Collinsville introduced our emergency first responders to their professional commitment free. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us to feel their no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins, LLC, the 2 locations in Denver and Fort Collins, serving the community for over 13 years. Visit it online at chapelcollins.com.
If catastrophe struck, will your family be prepared? Are you confident in the accident? And is there one place to get all of your emergency supplies? Their survival encourages you to have confidence through preparation, not panic through crisis. Their survival located at 3366 South Broadway is a professional, reputable, full-service business providing quality, realistic preparedness supplies at an affordable price. Go online, stop by, or call 303-781-0343. Service provided.
My friends, I keep talking about socialism on this show because we keep hearing about it in the major media. We're hearing more and more about it from Democrat nitwits who want to reduce America to poverty a la Venezuela. Well, socialism is nothing more than theft. And here to give us a treatise on that is my buddy Ben Shapiro.
Second, let me claim that democratic socialism is not backwards. Because democratic, right, democrats, and that's an opposite. Just like
Okay, Ben Shapiro is absolutely right. We have a religious obligation, but charity is different from socialism because with socialism, as he said, you've got a gun pointed at your head. Charity comes from the heart. We give because God wants us to give. Socialism is theft. So the next time some moron Democrat gets up in front of a camera, in front of a live audience, and says he or she is in favor of socialism, you know the person is pointing a gun at you, or at least wants the government to point the gun at you, take away what you've got, and give it to someone who never worked for it. We'll be right back.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. He was in the world was made through him, and the world did not know. He came to his own, and his own did not receive. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 10 through 13. The American Freedom Network is not funded or supported by special interest groups or government programs. The American Freedom Network is not sponsored by advertisers demanding content or programming control. The American Freedom Network is totally funded by you, the listeners, which help keep the American Freedom Network on the air by purchasing one of our sponsored fine products or by calling 1-800-205-6245 to make a donation. The American Freedom Network needs your help. American Women's Training Incorporated right now reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while child shepherd administrators become law. This poses an opportunity for it would be effective. It's making every effort to keep track of your person at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message from American Women's Training Incorporated brings for residential or commercial within call 303-263-4228.
My friends, Ann Coulter showed up on the Daily Caller podcast talking about her book. No problem with that. Resistance is Futile is what it's called. It's excellent. I'm in the process of reading it. Here's Ann Coulter.
They've gone crazy.
CNN. You know, I love Ann Coulter, but I don't know what the hell she's talking about. The one thing we get out of Trump, promises he's blown off, she must be thinking of a different Donald Trump in another universe, because the Donald Trump I see hasn't blown off his promises. He's fulfilled his promises. Now, one of the best things Trump has done was shine light on the media and call them out for their lies and their propaganda and their politics. That's been a fantastic thing. Doesn't show up on the scorecard. You can't quantify it. But speaking truth is always an enormously important thing. And speaking it from the top of the world, which is the White House, may be the most important part of all. Shining a light on the media, because the media informs America, and America is drastically misinformed. Thanks to the scummy left-wing media that we have. And don't think it's only us. Media in most major countries is left-wing and dishonest. And it makes me ashamed as a journalist, for God help me, 39 years, to see my fellow journalists become so-called journalists. You got to have some integrity when you're entrusted with information. You got to be honest. You got to stick to the truth, stick to the facts. And so many of my colleagues simply aren't. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And we'll finish up for the week here on Riell Truth.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects, unreasonable searches and seizures, shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the person or thing to be seen.
In order to meet the council of the nations assembled, he makes the plans of the people of the assembly. The council of the Lord stands forever. The plans of his heart all generations. The nation, the God that is the people he has chosen as the covenant here. Psalm 33 verses 10 to 12.
Chaplain Collins LLC is our emergency first responders with their professional commitment and bravery. They're willing to put their lives on the line for us with little or no thanks. So let's all take the time to thank our first responders for all they do for us. Also thanking our veterans for the sacrifice they made for our freedom. This message is from Chaplain Collins LLC, 10 locations in Denver and Fort Collins. Serving the community for over 13 years. Visit them online at chapelcollins.com. Total concrete on. The men and women of our military dedicate themselves to service. Their commitment and courage keep our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Salute those who serve today. This reminder from Total Concrete Services at 4462 Hilltop Road in Longmont. Proud to serve the entire area and to work on behalf of our future. More information for 970-535-4780.
Item from Reuters, Dateline, Geneva, Switzerland. United Nations human rights experts voiced concern on Thursday over alleged Chinese political re-education camps for Muslim Uighurs and called for the immediate release of those detained on, quote, the pretext of countering terrorism, unquote. My friends, there is no pretext. Where you find Muslims, you find terrorism, or at least planning for terrorism. Now, the United Nations has always been the mouthpiece for the Muslim world. That's one of the reasons the United Nations should be immediately disbanded. The Chinese are taking control of their Muslims, who are called Uighurs. Problem is, and this goes out to President Xi, I'm sure he listens to my show every day, you're making a mistake by putting Muslims in re-education camps. You should simply put them out of your country. We should be doing the same thing. Item from Reuters, Dateline, Hempstead, New York. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and challenger Cynthia Nixon argued over who is the stauncher opponent of U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday in their only debate as they battle for the state's Democratic gubernatorial nomination next month, unquote. My friends, Andrew Cuomo and Cynthia Nixon were really vying for the honor of who is the most disconnected from reality and who could bankrupt and destroy New York State and, if their policies were adopted nationwide, the United States of America. Who would be better as governor between Cuomo and Nixon? The answer is obvious. Neither. Item from Market Watch. When children younger than 18 come to see Deborah Johnson, a plastic surgeon with a private practice in Sacramento, California, she considers many factors before accepting them as patients. She makes sure the parents are supportive, considers what kind of surgery they want, and has an honest discussion about how their bodies and the results will change over time. She also asks that teenagers pay for the procedure in part. I think it's important that they have skin in the game and don't just have their parents pay for it, said Johnson. Many teenagers today are seeking plastic surgery, according to guidelines published Tuesday in Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery, the official medical journal of the American Society of Plastic Surgeons. Some 229,000 cosmetic procedures were performed on patients ages 13 to 19 in 2017. Cosmetic surgery procedures at large jumped 11% in 2017, with patients spending more than $6.5 billion. My friends, here's a word out to parents. Instead of giving your 13 to 19-year-old children money for plastic surgery, how about teaching them that it's what's inside that counts? Item from The Sun. Snapchat has apologized for a major gaffe that labeled New York City, quote, Jewtropolis on Snap Maps, leading users to blast it as racist. But the blunder, which is impacting the iOS, Android, and desktop versions of the platform, still has not been fixed. Item from ABC News. A leading candidate in Brazil's presidential election said police should be given license to kill criminals, and those who do should receive medals, not face prosecution. Hard right candidate Jair Bolsonaro said in an interview Tuesday night he would, quote, leave good people out of range of the shooting, unquote, and go to criminals at criminals full steam. Quote, this kind of people, criminals, you cannot treat them as if they were normal human beings, okay? We can't let policemen keep dying at the hands of those guys. If he kills 10, 15, 20, or with 10 or 30 bullets, he needs to get a medal and not be prosecuted, unquote. My friends, there's a flip side to the terrible evil of the surveillance society. Many criminals, many crimes are captured on video. If someone is seen on video committing a violent crime, I have no problem putting him off this particular planet. I'll be back on Tuesday, not Monday. Tuesday. Have a great Labor Day, my friends. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay angry.